New streaming app Coda Music is rolling out tools for labeling and blocking AI-generated tunes. WhatsApp will reportedly face further EU regulation, and Threads is adding a feature for creators to promote their podcasts. It's Wednesday, November 12th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. At this point, the streaming music landscape feels pretty well settled. Giants like Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and YouTube duke it out at the top, while plenty of others like Tidal and Deezer, try to do their best to stand out from the pack. Somewhat surprisingly, though, a new player emerged back in September. Coda Music used the recent backlash around Spotify co-founder Daniel Ek as a way to differentiate itself from the number one streamer, calling out Ek's controversial funding of defense technology firm Helsing earlier in the year. Also, Spotify's refusal to stop airing ICE recruitment ads certainly has not helped the platform either. Well, today, the fledgling service announced a new feature that feels designed to answer another of the recent Spotify controversies: AI slop music flooding the platform. In response, Coda Music is launching AI identification tools with the purpose of finding and labeling songs that were not composed by actual humans. There are a few prongs to Coda's approach. For starters, any artist added to Coda will be reviewed for AI origins, and their profile will be labeled AI artist so that listeners know what they're getting into. Coda is also letting users flag profiles of artists if they suspect the music is AI-generated. The company will then review them and label them if necessary. Finally, there's a toggle in settings that just lets you turn off AI artists entirely. Obviously, how useful this setting is will depend on how good Coda gets at labeling AI-created music as such. But there's definitely an appeal in just flipping that to off and avoiding as much slop as possible, right? Besides its stance on AI and the assurance that the company does not invest in war, there are a few other differentiators about Coda Music. The company says that it is currently paying the highest per-stream rate in the industry, while at the same time it acknowledges that no one is paying enough to artists. To that end, the company also lets users pick an independent or qualifying artist who gets $1 of their monthly subscription fee. Sure, it's only $1, but it's the kind of thing that sweetens the pot at least a little bit for musicians. And Coda has good reason to want to make itself visible to users and artists alike. The last major differentiator for Coda is the company's ambitions to turn its app into a social music sharing feed where you get recommendations from humans rather than algorithms. To that end, users can share anything from the app in their feed, and it also allows you to share external links and photos as well. So, go ahead and post your blurry images from that Nine Inch Nails concert. The company does not have a web interface yet, but says it's coming soon. If ducking AI-generated tunes is something that catches your attention, well, Coda costs $11 a month, or $17 per month for a family plan with up to 4 listeners. WhatsApp is following in the footsteps of fellow Meta-owned companies, Instagram and Facebook. Bloomberg reported that the European Commission will give WhatsApp's open channels the designation of Very Large Online Platform, or VLOP or VLOP, however you want to say it there, under the Digital Services Act. The Commission has yet to make a public announcement on the matter, but has reportedly told Meta this label gives the EU greater regulatory power over WhatsApp in areas such as content moderation and data sharing. WhatsApp will also need to conduct an annual independent audit and have transparent advertising practices, among other mandates. Now, this new label is not exactly a surprise. In February, WhatsApp announced that it had averaged about 47 million EU users in the second half of last year. The DSA states that the VLOP designation should be given when a platform exceeds 45 million monthly EU users. That designation will strictly be for WhatsApp's Open Channels feature. Individual messaging should not be impacted in any way and should remain private between the parties involved. Alongside Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp joins companies such as Amazon, Google, and ByteDance in the VLOP designation. Threads is working on new features that could make the text-based social network a bit more audio-friendly. Starting today, Threads is rolling out some new features for sharing podcasts and podcast episodes. Creators have the option to add the link to their show to their bio page. After that, their posts with show and episode links will appear with an audio preview. Non-hosts will also start to see the new previews when they post links to their favorite shows. For starters, the rollout is only supporting Spotify shows. Connor Hayes, who heads up Threads and also posted about the new feature, said in a reply to another user that Apple Podcasts will also eventually receive support. The previews are going live today and will become available to all users over the coming weeks. Now, in theory, this feature could help attract new listeners, but Threads doesn't have a strong success rate when it comes to its users actually clicking on links. It should be interesting to see if the audio-visual edition makes it any more appealing for people to visit podcast pages. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Nathan Ingram, Sarah Fielding, and Anna Washenko. And it was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer by a real human, Steve White. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.